I've said in the past, you need a minimal set of Eurorack modules if you're going to achieve a kind of creative liftoff, a critical mass, if you will. So the bigger the set of Eurorack Lego building blocks you have, the more options you're going to have. Pretty self-explanatory. Having said that though, this did get me thinking, what would be the minimal amount of modules I would need to get the creative results that I'd want? And I'm not talking about minimalist setups or minimalist GIFs. I'm talking minimal, like 5, maybe 4, maybe just 3 modules. I've got it set to this third green LED, which I find that has the most amount of expressive range I could think of right now. The morphogene is not engaged, and it's got a little bit of the echoes tape delay to kind of give it that little extra something. But honestly, this never gets old. And I think anything that is expressive in the way you can kind of do those kinds of things, a lot of movement, a lot of texture change, I think that's what makes a great instrument. Now, I could have modulated this, obviously, but sometimes I just like the fact that I can kind of experiment with the knob automation, and then eventually, if I want to, automate it, I can modulate it. But in initial go at it, I like to just kind of perform it, especially the way this is set up right now, because I'm going to try to record as much of this kind of movement into the morphogene. Now, there are caveats, of course. These module selections are highly personal, very specific. It's so focused that it totally depends on the kind of creative goals you have. So let me know in the comments below if you guys have your absolute minimal setup in mind also. I would love to know. So for me right now, I'm really interested in textures and granular synthesis, so it's got to check that box. Also, I want it to be tactile and fun, like a mini instrument. So preferably modules that have easy tweakable knobs that are performance oriented. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just record it, honestly, without doing too much. I'm just going to record into the morphogene. So there it goes. And I'm going to be as expressive as I can. Sometimes I find that the morphogene can be overloaded, so I got to be careful. Okay, now I've got that. I'm going to try to track in. I don't want to change the pitch too much because it's kind of hard to perform on top, but I do like okay, so let's see what we got. So I'm gonna just hear the morphogene now. Whoa. That's just the morphogene into echoes. All the stuff that I've been kind of performing on plats, that already sounds kind of crazy, but I think it's because it's been played back in reverse. So let me... I'm trying to find the splice where it has the most amount of movement, so I can I think towards the end was when I had some of the more brighter pitches. That's kind of cool. I don't want it to be too loopy. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to bring the plats back in now. Sounds like something from Alien. Yeah, I'm gonna try to match the tone a bit. Cut off that resonance so that it'll trigger the delay, which is always fun. Yeah, so the Morphaging kind of becomes sort of this rhythmic, pulsy kind of pad that I can kind of perform this other track on top of. And that's really kind of the magic of it. Whatever you decide to plug into the Morphaging, it becomes kind of its own little bed, and you can kind of play plats on top of it, you know? Super cool. And again, I would say like this could be like a little ambient generator. And, you know, take this into Ableton and then layer some notes, and then layer some more textures on top of it. Let me see if I can dial in this a little bit more. And then once I also figure out like what I like, I could obviously modulate these points, or I can create like splices in between some of these, that long take, and then kind of jump around it to like that guy. Yeah, this combination, just super fun. Morphaging kind of giving the plats' performance this rhythmic structure, again, because of the way granular synthesis works, right? Grabbing that little snippet and kind of like repeating it around, but then it's more complex than that, right? It's not just a tape looper. It's able to generate grains out of those little snippets, creating a lot more complexity and interest. This combo might be nothing new to some of you, but for me, as I was discovering this in real time during one of my patching sessions, it was just super fun. I think what was surprising was how dynamic the Morphaging made my plats performance. Of course, adding echoes to this whole patch makes it huge. That's cool. So if I, so it must be the little recording just before. Then I can go back to more calmer. Let's see, what can I do here? And I also love that this whole thing is sort of atonal. It's not on the grid. It's not even on any pitch, which makes it super inspiring, because, you know, being so, I guess, oppressed by the Western 12-tone and other kinds of things, if you've been formerly trained in classical music like I've been, it's hard to break away from that. So when you approach something like this, where there's no set pitch, there's no set rhythmic structure, it becomes like a really rejuvenating type of inspirational work session. And then if you find little nuggets that you like, you can track these in, save those little snippets, and then, kind of collage them into something really cool in Ableton or whatever DAW you want to use. I prefer Ableton with the setup just because I can create these little loops that feels more production-y. If it gets too random, I find that it just becomes like a mess and not anything usable. Play with the harmonics more. So with that said, let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions or comments on this video, and I will see you guys next time.